So Angel Reese just made her biggest mistake. Was it something basketball related? No. Was it something about Caitlin Clark? No. You people talk saying, oh, the certain fans are bad. Do you want to know who the fans that you do not want to piss off are? And I mean this. Do you know what fans you do not want to piss off? In just world. You don't want to piss off the Swifties. She's pissed off the Swifties. She has pissed off the Nap Swifties. She brought Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend on the podcast. Not only that. She came out and said, I loved you two guys together. They haven't been in a relationship for years, whatever. I don't care about the drama. But, like, I'm sorry, you don't piss off the Swifties. Like, I'm sorry, you just don't. It is the craziest. It is, for anyone saying that, like, Angel Reese doesn't bring, she doesn't embrace the hate. She actively egged on the Swifties. I'm sorry, obviously, sometimes hate is, like, too far. But not the Swifties. Like, oh my God. That is not the fight. That is not the battle anyone wants to fight. And I mean that. If people think that the Caitlin Clark fans are toxic. If people think, and not even the Caitlin Clark fans in general, yeah, sometimes fandom is toxic, just like Angel Reese fans. If people think that the social media trolls jumping on Angel Reese because of the whole "you can't see me" thing, or the "yeah, great cheap shot, Kennedy," or other stuff is bad, she's seen nothing yet. She's become an enemy of the Swifties. She's gone for the Swifties. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And I'm sorry. Like, you know. Like, there are things, I'm telling you, you don't do. Just in life, there are things you don't do. Like, there are things you don't say without, like, actions of consequences. And, like, you might say it's a ridiculous thing, but you know there are some people, like, just in life, there are some people that you don't want to piss off. Like, you know it's not going to end up well for you. There are some people you don't joke about because you know it's not going to end well for you. You know there are some people you don't want on your bad side because it's not going to end well for you. And the Swifties are not the people to piss off. They are not, and I mean it. They are not the people to piss off. And by the way, I want to give Angel Reese a little bit of credit because she is, like, I genuinely listened to one of those full podcasts. It was absolutely, like, through the hour and a half, in my opinion. Look, there are people who seem to enjoy it, so I'm not going to say it, but for me, I just couldn't do it. But every single podcast, there is a clip. There is a clip of something ridiculous coming out. And, like, she knows, not that she knows her audience, she knows how to clip farm. One thing Angel Reese is really, really good at is, and it's a skill. It is a skill that Angel Reese, no matter where she goes, she is smart enough to make sure that she is the story. She's smart enough, her actions are good enough, or her actions on and off the court were enough to keep her in a Rookie of the Year conversation she realistically did not belong in after about 10 games. Through 40 games. But she kept the conversation going. She will make sure as hell that the name Angel Reese is spoken constantly, even when she's not playing ball. And I've said it plenty of times that I fully believed, and I was like, she could go down the Anna Kournikova route where it's like once the tennis stops, the celebrity stops, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Like, even if the basketball stops with Angel Reese, she is going to be, like, she's going to be talked about. And you got to give credit where credit's due there, because in the world of social media, attention is the greatest currency. You can make so much money and out of that. And in fairness to her, like, I'll say it, like, just how savvy she is when it comes to social media, building her own brand, making sure that, like, she's everywhere to be seen, is, like, it's something that we don't see from many athletes. Like, look, hopefully it doesn't affect her game. Hopefully next season she can score layups. But she knows. She knows that it's better for people to talk about you in a negative light than not talk about you at all, which is why she picked the fight with the Swifties. Like, there's no other reason about it. There are now mainstream articles talking about Angel Reese, referencing Angel Reese in Taylor Swift drama. And I'm sorry, like, you can dislike Angel Reese all you want, but that's the thing. That's the thing which she is smart with. You are either gonna love Angel Reese or you're gonna hate Angel Reese. But one thing she's making sure is that if you hate Angel Reese, you're not gonna stop talking about Angel Reese. And if you love Angel Reese, you're just gonna be a big fan of her. So yeah, it is a really interesting thing. It's not something that, like, I've seen necessarily in sports. It's really not something that I've seen in sports, like a sports person being able to do this as effectively as Angel Reese has done it, because Angel Reese is the 30th best basketball player in a league where players make most players make under 100 grand a year, and she's the 30th best player in that league. She is the second biggest star in the WNBA, and you've seen it with the I'm just scrolling through Angel Reese tweets, just the name Angel Reese. There's been probably 500 tweets in the last hour talking about Angel Reese. Whether it be a podcast, whether it be her going out to a concert, whether it be people still talking about Caitlin Clark. But that's the reality of the situation is that once the Caitlin Clark drama goes, I always said it, and I was like, once that goes, I don't know what's going to happen with Angel Reese, because, no offense to her, she's not a good enough basketball player to be in to keep in the A'ja Wilson conversations. But obviously she knows what she's doing with the podcast, because there are literally, in the last minute, there's been 20 tweets. There's been 20 tweets about the podcast in the last minute. There has been, in the last 5 minutes, I can see 20 tweets on what she wore to a concert. Like, she is as much celebrity as basketball player, and it really does help that she's a pretty damn good basketball player. Like, I will say, she is a pretty damn good basketball player, but I think she might have did a pretty bad one. I think, like, if she needs to be the most mentally tough person in the world to deal with being the target of Swifties. And I mean that. Like, it's not going to be easy. Like, there are certain fan groups you do not want to piss off, and the Swifties are one of them. They are one of them. Either way, though, I get it. Like, this is going to get a lot of hate, but because a lot of people really do dislike Angel Reese. The reality is that I think that's by design. And she calls herself Unapologetically Angel, and the reality is I think that is as much as anything by design. She knows the people are gonna hate her anyway, or people are gonna love her anyway, so she's going to make sure as hell that you have to do one or the other. But there's one thing when it comes to Angel Reese that she knows: people are not going to be indifferent on her. That's for sure. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.